So as I mentioned, we're showing you a snapshot of 3.0 that you guys will be getting your hands on in the very near future as soon as we get rid of the remaining bugs. In 3.0, we now have, can I bring the music down a bit on this at the moment? So in 3.0, we now have 3 different moons. So we've got Delmar, Daymar, Selen, and Yella. And in addition to that, we have the asteroid of Delamar, which has the Levski landing zone on, and it's the first full implemented landing zone that we're having in the PU. And it's much more built out than it was previously. And with 3.0, we have proper persistence, which means that your character state is retained, your ship state is retained, your items state is retained. So if your ship's shot up and you leave the game and come back, it will still be shot up. Also, your location is important, so if you leave a ship on a moon, it will still be there when you come back, or maybe not if someone else has stolen it, but it certainly won't just respawn back in your hangar. So, and the sort of 3 major save points currently in the 3.0 build are Port Olisar, Levski, and Grim Hex. So we're going to start here in Levski. Glenn here is in his easy hab. Let's get out of bed, Glenn. Well, you wouldn't expect Glenn to sleep in his spacesuit, would you? That is so 2.6. So, as you've noticed, Glenn is in his skivvies or sleeping outfit. But in 3.0, and this is quite different than what we showed last year. We have a completely modular clothing system, so you can dress however you want. Previously it was like you either had your civilian outfit or your armor outfit. That's no longer the case in 3.0. You can do any combination you want, so you can put whatever, different jacket, trousers, t-shirt, long coat, armor. You can mix and match different armor pieces, different helmets and everything. So let's pull up our Moby Glass, Glenn. So the other thing you'll notice here, and in the Moby Glass, well, one of the apps will help us dress, but just to notice here in the Moby Glass, that's another big difference between what we showed last year and what we've put into the new 3.0, which is we've completely refactored the Moby Glass, which is your sort of, well, it's basically a smartphone in the future. And here's sort of the home screen, which I think we've shown on a few ATVs, but just to go through it, obviously that's how much money we've got, 125,000 UEC. You can see in the middle what our heart rate is, and we have this thing called the stamina system that we're introducing with 3.0, which tracks your stamina. So our heart rate indicates how exhausted we can become. And so if we're running around a lot, that'll go up, our stamina will go down. If we're injured, it potentially will go up too. And obviously, exerting yourself, running around affects that. Whether you're injured affects that. Also, what you're wearing affects that. What you're carrying affects that. So it's quite important in terms of, I think, immersive gameplay. And then to the right, we can see the external atmosphere reading. At the moment, it's 1 atmosphere, and we have a breathable atmosphere. So the other thing that we've added to 3.0 is we track the atmosphere you're in. So in the case of Levski, there's a breathable atmosphere inside Levski, but it's on an asteroid, so if you go outside, there is no breathable atmosphere. We also can track the composition of the atmosphere, which you can see there. So there could be an atmosphere, but poisonous to you, say a human. So either you need to be in a breathable atmosphere, or you need to be wearing a suit, spacesuit, environment suit, whatever, that has an oxygen supply, or you will die. So that's not very good. Then on the rest of the homepage, if you got your currently selected vehicle, you would have the status of that, your track mission, and then if you had your suit, that would be the status of the suit, how much oxygen you've got, how much, what the suit's got, how much your tank's got. So here on the bottom are where all our apps are. So the first app on the top left is the Contract Manager. Now the Contract Manager is where you'll get the various jobs or missions, however you want to think of it, in the game. Big thing for 3.0 is we've completely moved away from the old missions that we've had and moved into Subsumption, which runs both our missions and our AI. So that's AI. So that's a massive, massive undertaking. I think we had about 16 missions in 2.6. In 3.0, we have, I think, about 26 different archetypes of missions. And beyond that, they can be combined in different combinations. And there's a large amount of procedural missions. So literally, there can be millions of missions that you do in 3.0. It won't stop. So it's not like you have 16 finite missions you do and you're done. There's missions to escort, missions to deliver something to a location, missions to go and get something from a location, missions to investigate a missing person, whether someone's dead on a wreck or not, identify them, take someone out, clean up pirates. And there's these templates that can be put together in different combinations. And on top of that, we can also have some missions that will be created where there can be a mission for one player and then another player is given a mission in opposition to that. So there's a lot of potential for ongoing gameplay in 3.0 that wasn't in 2.6, which is important because now we have persistence, and so you need to earn money to keep your ship repaired or to keep it rearmed. I mean, no longer free missiles or no longer free fuel and all the rest of the stuff. Well, that's a game. You got to earn your money to keep your ship going. So there'll be much more of a game mechanic. So here's where we would have the variants. So like, for instance, this is just a simple one, a collection from Yella. Customer requires medical supplies, crate to be collected from an outpost on Yella and delivered to Port Olisar. So between this and between trading, where you can buy commodities in one location, take it to another and sell it, there's a whole sort of beginning of a dynamic economy that we can run. So besides the various jobs that we can select here, there can also be offers that we're getting from individuals. And by the way, in 3.0, it'll just be from the game and NPCs. But going forward, players will be able to also put missions up here and give off, basically make offers to other players. So let's see if we got any offers. So here we have, there's a job opportunity and Eckhart Security, if everyone remembers Miles Eckhart from last year. So he is one of the 2 mission givers in 3.0. And he says, another job's popped up, thought you'd be a good fit, so we probably should go and talk to him about it. So we will accept that. And then if we have a mission that we've fully accepted, because we just accepted the offer to talk about it, we would have the accepted, and then also the history of missions we've done in the past. Then the other sort of tabs we have is there's one for our sort of repair, restock, refuel stuff if we were at a Cryastro station, or you can also do that in locations like Levski or Port Olisar. Over here, the next tab will be the vehicle works. It's currently called Live Works IR, but this is, you'll be able to modify and change out equipment on your ship very much like you can in the Arena Commander app at the moment. We also have a journal, although we haven't really done anything at the moment. Glenn is just beginning. And then we have comms, which we'll show you in a little bit. And Star Map, which we'll show in a bit. And we'll go to the Player Manager app right here, which is how we sort of organize our dressing. So we're in the skivvies. This is why we went to the movie glass in the first place. So let's put on some trousers and some boots and maybe a jacket. There we go. Looking very fashionable to go outside. And, in 3.0, there's actually quite a lot of clothes that we've added for people to dress and customize themselves how they want. All right, Glenn, let's turn around. And one other sort of major interface feature that we've done, which we talked a little bit about in ATV, is what we call the player interaction mode. And if any of you guys have been down on the show floor and played a little bit there, I think you started to use it. But it's everywhere. It's our unified way of interacting. So you hit F, and you move the mouse around. Anything you can interact with will be highlighted. The action will have an inner thought. Potentially there'll be more than one action. And it's how you press buttons, open doors, pick up an item, interact with your cockpit. So you no longer have to remember all these shortcuts. So when you're in your cockpit, there are physical buttons to do everything like deploy landing gear, open the canopy, all the rest. So of course there still will be the shortcuts, but for a new user experience, I think it's much more friendly. So here we are outside our Easy Hab. And one other small feature that we've added, which is, well, there you go. Movement. Use mouse wheel, up mouse to increase the speed. So we can control our movement speed with the mouse wheel, which, you know, in a PC FPS game, normally WASD, you're either running or you're not running. So this sort of allows us to control our speed. So if we're in a social situation, we don't want to be running around, say, inside a bar. But when we want to get somewhere fast, like get to the bar, yes, we may want to run. And you also notice the hint system that came in. So the hint system is something else we've added to 3.0 to make the experience much more friendly for new players. We're hoping there'll be quite a few new people in 3.0. And here, so we're in Levski. We obviously saw this last year, but what we didn't see last year is AI moving around, doing things, in that case sitting down. I think if we look, yep, he's checking his mobi-glass. Maybe there's a maintenance guy doing some work somewhere. I guess not now. That's the nature of AI running around. There's about 200 AI running around Levski at the moment. And it's the beginning of subsumption. Subsumption AI is what we're using in Squadron 42 and we'll be using in the PU. It's very much a Sims type AI, so people have schedules. They go to sleep, they get up in the morning, they go to work, they go get lunch, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let's go down. I guess if we follow him, we'll see he'll probably, maybe he's going to use the, no, he's going to check it out. He's going to get his little thing out, and he's going to do some work on it. There you go. All right, let's go down to Café Musan. So in 3.0, there is sort of basic AI moving around, doing things, shopkeepers, bartender, mission givers, but it's just the beginning of what we're putting on, and it's going to be much more fluid and more sophisticated as we go down. Again, we use the user interaction mode for everyone. Here we're in Delamar. There's, as you can see, there's a fairly big amount of change in the sort of space landscape. This is actually how Delamar is meant to be. It's a very large asteroid in a big asteroid field. So we have some pretty large asteroids up there. There's a couple that are 20 plus kilometers inside. And here we are at the sort of the main market section, which we walked through last year. And if you haven't noticed on the sort of lighting and volumetric fog, so we've switched to volumetric fog, which we also had a little piece on ETV. Makes the lighting much, much, much better, so the sort of sense of the shops are available throughout the Grand Parter. And one of the nice things, so with 3.0, like between this and last year, we filled out all the shops in Levski and added some stuff in other places like Port Olisar. So for instance, there's shops for ship items and weapons. But let's go and find Miles Eckhart. So besides you know, clothing shops, armor shops, personal weapon shops, there's shops for ship items, and in the next release 3.1 we will have ships that you can buy as well, and that will be the full amount, the trifecta. Right. All right. Well, we're gonna switch to Glenn's partner to find Miles, because Miles seems to be missing for us.
Glenn, are you down here?
There he is.
Hey, Glenn.
All right, let's talk to Miles. Get our mission.
Glad you could make it. Grab a seat. From time to time, jobs find their way to me that aren't orthodox requests. That's a better way to say that, but let's just say they aren't the kind of ops you can give to just anyone. They require a very specific type of person. Now, mutual friends have told me that you might be one of those precious few who are capable of completing a contract without question. If I'm wrong, we can leave it at that. Enjoy a drink in my spectacular company for a few minutes, We'll part ways with the understanding that this meeting never happened. If I'm right, I might just have a gig that I could use you for.
So again, user, the player interaction mode's used for this again. So we can either be interested or not, but we're interested, obviously. Otherwise,
Give you some backstory here. One of the many services Eckhart Security provides is as independent investigators. Sometimes that means extracting black box data, pulling data pads from wrecks, or even looking for missing persons. Different day, different job. That's what my dad always said. Sending you the details.
All right, so he's going to send us details. Let's check out what the mission is. Retrieve black box. So his mission, a government witness has been transported across the system to testify in the trial of a major syndicate boss. When the transport was shot down, the lawyers want to prove that they were targeted by syndicate assassins. So they're paying good money to retrieve the black box, which recorded the crime. Unfortunately, it's highly likely that if the syndicate did organize the hit, they'll be sending some people to retrieve the black box to wipe the data, so you'll have to hurry. All right, it's a pretty hefty contract, so it's probably pretty risky. It's also, this is actually an example of a opposition mission where
Let me know when it's
another
done.
group going for it. All right, so let's get out and...
Hey, you done?
Sorry about that. I had to talk to Eckhart.
Okay, so...
He just gave us a mission.
Wait, you're a guy?
Yeah, why not? I wanted to try something different. What do you think of my look?
Okay, so hold on, guys. So one thing that we're going to show here, and this is a feature that we've put into the game. It's not going to be in 3.0, but it will be soon afterwards. Two things. One, which is
Don't just stare at me.
VoIP.
That's a spirit.
And the other is what we call
That is a great smile.
face over IP. So hold up, guys.
Anyway, so we have this mission we got to do. We have to get a black box.
Hey, guys, just pause for a second, please. Are you hearing me or not? All right, so hang on a sec. We'll just... all right, hang on. Guys, can you pause? Just pause for a second. Hold. Pause for a second. Okay, so... Sorry, we've got to coordinate because we have Melissa, who's down in the basement as another player, and we have Glenn here. So, but we have what we call face over IP, which is a combination of diegetic voice over VoIP. So wherever we say, like, Melissa, can you back away talking, please?
Right, so like I was saying, we have this mission. We got to get a black box. It's from Daymar. It shouldn't take too long, and I know the perfect pilot for it. Can you still hear me okay?
I can't hear you.
What was that?
I said speak up.
I still hear you.
Okay. So now, Melissa, can you come forward talking and then go to Glenn's right?
So, after we do this mission, I need to head to Grimhex. Actually, Yella. I left my ship there. So if you don't mind, and if it's not too much trouble, I'd really appreciate it.
So if you notice there, so so the voice is fully diegetic.
Shouldn't
It's in
take too long, especially because John's a really good pilot.
Okay, all
He
right.
can get us anywhere.
All right, back to in front of Glenn, Melissa, and give me a second before we go to the next stage. So it's fully diegetic. It's in the world. If it's to the left, it's to the, you hear the voice to the left. If it's to the right, you hear the voice to the right. Or if you actually had 3D sound, you would hear it behind you. It goes away in the distance. If you have a helmet on, it will become filtered and it will shifter comms. So that's part one. And the other part, which you've sort of seen a little bit that's happening here, is once we put that into the game, we sort of realized that if you don't have the face and the your lips moving when you're talking, and not only that, to try and sort of see more of the emotion, it feels really weird in a game that has the fidelity that Star Citizen did. So we've been working with a company called Faceware to put their live tracking SDK into our game so we can drive our head rigs. And we have an advantage that we have this live rig technology that we've developed to work for Squadron 42 and that we use in the PU. And it's what drives Miles Eckhart, it's what drives all the stuff in Squadron 42, what drives the shopkeepers. And the advantage of that is that it has various poses for the faces. And as long as you can decode quick enough video coming in, then you can drive the facial stuff. So here we go. Yeah. And Melissa, do you want to pull up your debug window so they can just see it tracking on your screen? There we go. So if you can see, there's Melissa down in the basement. And And the nice thing with the tracking here is that it's really, really smart. We don't have to train it. It will recognize your face, and you just have to do one calibration looking in the center. It works with it works with standard webcams, and if you have a better webcam, it will work even better. So these ones are ones we'll tell you about in a little bit. And then we have one more feature because this enables, because we track heads. So Glenn, maybe let's switch to Glenn. So let's switch to Glenn's view and get a camera on Glenn. Okay, and then Glenn's view. There we go. Now Glenn, turn on your head tracking. Okay, so now on top of that, So it's essentially has the track AR functionality because we track the head as well, and it's quite useful, say, when you're in a cockpit looking around for situational awareness, and also, honestly, in these sort of situations, if you want to nod your head without having to move the mouse, it's pretty good. Okay, shall we get back to our mission?
Oh yeah, what's that mission about?
Were you not listening? We need to get a black box at Daymar.
My apologies, it's just a little busy in here is all.
So should we get some weapons?
You're right. It looks exhilarating in here. Everyone's dancing.
So I'm guessing we should get some weapons.
Let's go.
Yep.
Lead the way.
Specifically, the railgun. Let's go.
Dang, you want to blow some things up, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, the idea, I mean, you know, we're doing our silly QA banner here, but the idea is when this feature's in, you and your friends can be running around talking to each other in the universe, which I think will help because it's much better to talk rather than type in a chat window.
Oh my God.
And because it's in the universe, you can hail people nearby, you can talk to people. So yes, you can use TeamSpeak or Discord or Mumble or something like that, but it won't be diegetic, and it also won't allow you to sort of talk to someone you meet in a bar or have all the channels set up diegetically for our game and universe. So. Right, so here's an example of one of the additional shops in Levski.
Just up here.
Yes, like that. And if you notice, here's one other thing, is you can actually see in multiplayer everyone using their Mobi glass. So if she purchases whatever she's looking at, Melissa, this is over there.
You got it?
Okay, I'm gonna have a look in the back, see if there's over.
I'm gonna get me some ammo.
You do that. Wow. You know it means business when it has a skull on it.
Yep. It's pure evil, which is perfect.
Over there, there's a few more items that check our second selection.
You're scary. You finished back there?
Yep. Got some other stuff too. You all set too?
Oh yeah.
We just got a few new items.
Great. Let's
so
go.
make sure to check them out.
Nah, I'm good. Ladies first? Okay, so if we're going over to Daymar, we're going to need a pilot.
Yep. I already told you. John.
Who's he again?
He's the guy I used to do some missions with back in the day. He has a constellation. The Aquila specifically. You can transport these things really easily.
So, what are we doing?
We need to get some ship items. Dumper's Depot. If you don't mind anyway.
Can't he buy it
John's
himself?
not expecting us for a little while.
Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
What was that, Glenn? Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just listening to the woman.
Oh, don't talk to them. They just try to sell you things.
So anyway, so this, Dumpers Depot is on Levski. There'll be several other shops in 3.0 where you can buy various things like shield
Found the one I
generators, coolers, power plants, and certain ones to upgrade your ships to make them better, because we have different grades of equipment with item
ready to go
2.0. And you'll be able to buy ship weapons, and also at the various admin desks,
Glenn?
there's commodity kiosks and
ignoring me?
stuff.
Just got a few new items in, so make sure to check them out.
All right, should we go?
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, we should probably go.
Yeah, we're just wasting time here. I'm already
Man,
done.
you have no patience.
Patience? What is that?
Exactly. Move it, you.
You know, by saying that, it's a bit hypocritical, don't you think?
So I'm thinking, we get to the top lot, we take the rover, and we drive it to John.
Sounds like a plan.
Because I'm not walking on Daymar. I hate sand.
I've never been to Daymar.
There's sand. Everywhere.
So I've heard. Do you think there will be a sandworm there?
Not another word.
That would be awesome.
What's with you in danger?
Don't be scared, Glenn. I'll protect you. I just bought a railgun.
I don't doubt.
So we're going to head to the upper area of Levski, which is a totally new area, and it's where you connect to the outside and also the garages. So we just got to go up one more level. It's there we go.
Nice jacket, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so here we are on the very upper level.
All right. So I will get into my suit, and you spawn the rover.
Yeah, no worries.
So Glenn's going to go up to the vehicle valet station, and this is where you summon your vehicles. So in this case, a rover to the garage. But if you had a ship, it would be to the hangar or the landing pads. And this works in concert with the air traffic control system, the ATC system, that is also new to 3.0 because now there'll be lots of players and landing zones. We don't want people to just hog a landing pad and ruin it for everyone else. So you have to request the landing spot. You get given it. You've got to land it within a certain period of time. When it landed there, your ship gets taken into the sort of big ship storage of whatever the landing zone, and then you call it back up through vehicle valet, which is what we just did for the rover, and it will be in a garage because with landing zones that actually are connected to a moon or in this case an asteroid planetoid or a regular planet, you'd have one.
Ready to go.
So here we are, we're getting dressed up. So outside of Levski and Delamar there is absolutely no atmosphere, so we better put a spacesuit on. Putting a tasty blue and white number Explorer outfit, which is new for 3.0, as is what Melissa will be wearing. Well, he's got a helmet on, but and also you'll be able you'll be able to save out your predefined loadout. So you know whatever you want to call it, your Sunday best. But he's looking quite dapper there.
And clear.
You still read me?
Yep.
So now you'll notice the voice is filtered because it's over comms in the helmets.
You're welcome.
I wanted to do it.
So here we're outside. You see all that little AI wandering around here. What's happening? So let's go out. The garages are to the right. We can see Melissa's actually getting into one of the rovers. But let's just take a look. So we're outside in this massive asteroid field, which is really quite great. So we've done a fair amount on the space landscaping in 3.0. So one other thing, Glenn, do you want to pull up your Moby? Look at the atmosphere out here. Glenn doesn't like it when I do that because this can be quite risky. He's died a few times when we did the run-throughs for the press. So as you can see, there's zero atmosphere out there. So we'll just go to take his helmet off. Okay, well wait a sec. Save changes. Equip. Okay. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, do it. Save it. All right, if I left that a bit too long, we've done it and Glenn's died. And then he has to respawn and come all the way down, which makes it a bit slower. But rest assured, if you let it off longer, then he would have asphyxiated.
Yeah, I just nearly had a total recall moment. You all strapped in?
Yep. Let me just give John a call.
Looking good. For a dude.
Thanks.
Full screen for the call, maybe? Okay, so as you can see on our Moby glass, the communications that we showed, no, the other way, the other view, thank you. So we're calling
is so lazy.
Carl. This should be interesting then.
Yep, we're at Levski. Are you nearby?
Yeah, I'm just pulling into Levski now. I'll meet you at the landing pad.
In fact, we can pull up the
Great.
where
We'll
he
see
is
you
in the constellation, Paul, maybe? Too late, but pull him up. So anyway, we can video. This is we showed the
John's ready for us.
we showed the
Let's go.
secondary viewport and rendered the texture stuff. So that's an example of it. We opened up a comm channel to another player flying in his constellation over Delmar and talk to him face to face, which is the reason why we were doing a lot of this secondary viewport stuff, to have video comms between players in different ships, different locations, as well as the holographic stuff that we showed. So let's go meet John. And as you can see, Delamar's had a lot of work. The team in Germany, the environment team's really been working hard on it. It also uses all the most recent technology improvements we've done for the planetary tech. So in any one of these views, there'll be about 100,000 interest objects. So small rocks, big rocks, whatever. You call them stalagmites going up? I can never remember. I think it is stalagmites going up. But, you know, obviously if we were on something that was a little less arid, you know, it would be different kinds of ecosystems, so say you have forests or
Nearly hit a rock.
grass plains or mountains or hills or oceans. But here we go.
My driving is impeccable.
There we go. All right, and here we come in. Here comes John in the constellation. And it's not just a constellation, it's actually a constellation Aquila. Up. John needs to, yeah. John, I think you need to line up a bit better. There you go.
Easy does it.
That's a big boy.
All right, let me out here.
Maybe switch to, there you go. So here's John lowering the cargo bay for us.
All right, Glenn. Nice and easy.
Looking good.
Really good.
First try.
Not
Yeah,
bad at all.
parking these things is quite the challenge.
A little too far forward? You might be.
Just a tiny bit.
You want John's view picture-in-picture, don't you, Paul?
That's good.
Alright, bring us up, John. Bringing you up. Cheers, mate.
Switch to the view of Glenn. There you go.
You guys looking for that?
Hey, John.
Hey, welcome aboard.
Thanks for doing this last minute.
Oh, no problem. Always up for a job. Ships are expensive. I'm pretty good at parts of that.
Why do I get the feeling Glenn is back there admiring his parking job?
Probably. He wasn't 100% perfect. Hey. Yep. Stay right.
Always lagging behind.
Hurry.
All right, let's take off, guys.
That's a great view.
Yeah, I love the windows. See so much. Even below us.
So, as you can see, Delamar's gotten a lot prettier since we showed it last year. You get a bit more of a view of like the craters and stuff on the other side.
It's just we've left to see a bit.
Go down, I guess the pits pull out. So Delamar is probably one of the smallest of the planetoids we have. It's probably about, I think it's about maybe 200 kilometers in diameter. So it's a lot smaller than the moons. So when we get to the moons, you'll sort of see the difference, but it's essentially a quite large asteroid. And just gonna get far enough away from, and as you can see, the space landscaping's much better than it was in 2.6. If you wanna look down, we see the big crater. Can you? Yeah. So you can, yeah, there you go. And the crater to that left, you can see in there, I think the entirety of Skyrim fits inside there. So, and this is one of our smallest little planetoids. Good. Wow. Okay, fingers crossed. Here we go. All right, back in business. As you can see, by the way, Daymar is much larger than Delamar. I think it's maybe 1,000 or so kilometers in diameter.
Good job, John. I owe you a bid. If this mission goes well, you owe me too. jump. Just with you, so, you know.
John, what's your speed going down?
Jump. The view is sound.
Okay, so what, just don't have Craig sit down until after they've jumped? By the way,
John, this is pretty fast, you know.
I see it too.
Cool. There's a few rooms around here.
hey, put this in.
Really? Try and find a flat area. Easy now.
Steady on.
It's a little rough, but we're in the face. John, you need your license to check your bait. I'll give you about a few days before you guys come along.
I think you made it.
Exactly.
Ready when you guys are.
Alright, jump. You got it. Cheers, man.
Oh, there it is. It's magic.
Whoa, watch out.
Well, it's just a sync. It's a sync issue. It takes a second to sync it up.
Okay. You ready? Ready. Let's do this.
Sweet.
It's behind us, by the way. watch out for the rock. You know what? Next time, I'm driving.
Still got that GoFundMe page.
Alex, we reckon the distance
We don't
there.
talk about that. Besides, I've been practicing.
Okay, we don't need to speed run anymore, guys.
Wanna go first?
So we don't need to speed run anymore. We're back where we were.
Let's look out there.
Did you turn off the rover? All the lights went off. I'm out now. Could have waited. Alright, I'm ready. I'll scout ahead.
Nice gun.
Yeah, I need to get it repaired. But it still works.
Okay, well you take point. You got the weapons.
Alright, I'm checking this left side first.
What a mess.
They
This
just-
looks recent. Amos,
Yeah.
check all your bullets.
Thanks, Mom. Get right on that. Tried it yet?
Continue the point.
Got some stairs here. Careful. All the sparks everywhere. I think I found it.
Oh, what do you know?
Sorry.
Do you want to take point?
I'll let you lead.
How about a gun?
It's fine, I'll watch your back.
If I get shot in the back.
It'll be an accident. They'll just respawn. Maybe. I think I actually lost you. I found it.
Alright, John, we got what we came for. Awesome. Nice and quiet out here.
Alright. Get in the river.
You go first.
I'm driving this time.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm in. Don't forget to close the door.
It's closed.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Call John. Just let him know we're on our way.
Alright, John. We're on our way. Great.
By the way, when the camera's on you, because you're looking off, you gotta remember, you're always prime time.
Hopefully.
That wasn't so hard. Okay, I say on fire. Get out of there. Enemy ships under attack. Under attack. Take damage.
Hey, John, can you try taking up a little bit? Slow up the dash.
Ship's taking damage. My engine level properly.
Oops. Alright, well, guess they lost their ride. Glenn, you gonna call for help? Well, I don't think I'd be on the Buccaneer because it's completely black inside.
Line it up, line it up.
I don't have any visual.
Nobody was driving.
Have we called for help?
That's a no.
Sayonara, sucker. We're direct bound.
Did you get them all, Glenn?
Hey guys, do you think it's time to call for some help?
What was that noise? Glenn?
Hello there. We're in a slight case of bad luck. We need help.
That's great, man. I see you, man. I sent interceptors to your position.
Merci, Captain.
Fighters engaged. Yeah, we're coming for you, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Let's get clear of these rocks.
Awesome.
Just look at this guy. Where parking is. Guys,
Hey, Greg is really quiet on his comms. I don't know.
Looks like we took some damage.
You guys have an Idris?
well, yeah, we do.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
You better not.
No, these are gladiators from the Idris, by the way. So, in order to shoot you. All right, let's bring it out.
That's a huge ship.
Adjusting landing position.
Hey, Melissa,
What?
let me out. I want to get up to that thing.
Go on then. Just close the door on your way out.
All right, open the way.
Picture from Rover and so as you can see, the Idris is pretty large.
Adjusting position.
Good, but
So
not
it's
that
the
good.
first working capital ship that we've got in the game.
I'm disappointed.
I hate sand.
Go with Glenn's view as well. Please, Glenn's view.
Alright. Never done this before. Let's see how it goes.
It's not going to be good.
Third time's the charm.
Alright, let me line this up again. So much sand. Here we go. No!
Oh, well, he's got one of them.
I was asked, did you get something from Captain for his whip? No. What's his whip? It's next week. I was just gonna put my name on like a card and give him some pouches or something.
Guys, please, you're all comms.
Glenn, you want to take your railgun off? Take your railgun off and see the captain.
All right, Rover, join me on the bridge. Closing back door.
Hello?
Let's go get out of atmosphere. Guess I'll find my own way.
All right, Glenn. Join me in the bridge. We're clear for takeoff. Get us out of Daymar.
Proximity alert. Head. Proximity alert. Head. Proximity alert. Starboard. Proximity alert. Head. Proximity alert. Head.
So,
Hello!
Proximity alert. Head.
Bonjour, Captain.
Proximity.
Bonjour, Lynn.
Thanks for saving us out there.
It was my pleasure.
I just wish there was a jump ahead to see that.
there you go. So, let's take a little pause here. Let's bring
Okay, this is one of the cool. Friends of yours?
Guess we'll find out.
Attention! Enemy Idris Captain. So far today, you have destroyed 2 of my ships, killed 2 of my men, and stole my black box. So, I'm gonna give you exactly 1 chance. Either hand over the box, or I'll put a hole in the ship and scavenge through the wreck.
Pick all the bluff on that one.
Can we talk about this? We already talked about it. You've got one option, and that's that.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to come and get it then.
I prefer that anyways. Let's get out there. Gate time.
Alright, guys, get the fire blazing. Mind the turrets.
Heading this way.
Come on, starboard side.
Scramble the fires. We're going to ready to roll. I'm on power up. Good vehicle takeoff. Alright, guys, the operation. Interceptor status report.
Riptide, hold read.
Still alive and kicking. Oh yeah, boys. Stand by for landing.
Nice fly, Mark.
Easy, Massa.
What? I wasn't flying. What? Drinking again?
Before a mission, Jesus, man.
Right.
What? Where are you off to?
Right, it's a high degree of difficulty. We'll see. Ooh. Just exit the ship. Alright. Back. There you go. There we go. Alright, we brought him home. Okay. We can. Okay, we can. Yeah, finish, Paul. Fake